Well, Dennis Rodman, of course, our ambassador to North Korea. How many people actually go over there from the United States and chat, especially anyone of any note? You know,
you're allowed. There's ways to get in there. One of Jonathan's friends went, and they do something. It's like 100,000 people. I forget what it's called. It's a display they do where it's kind of what is it called when a bunch of people are in the stands of a football game and they all flip the card over to say the same thing?
Oh, right, I've seen that.
Like, you know, they're yellow, blue, whatever it is. They do a display like this.
That's amazing.
It's in North Korea. It's one of the greatest things humanity has ever figured out.
It's great because that's what you get if you make a mistake, you're fucking beaten and tortured. Well, if that card doesn't flip over at the right time, get the person in seat 96L. And then they just fucking ravage him on the field.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
It's fucking amazing what they do.
I don't know what it's called. What do I say?
Look for North Korea.
Give me search keywords.
North Korea.
Card flip.
Display.
Just card flip.
Yeah, or...
Oh, card flipping.
There you go. Oh. See? Oh, you don't know how to Google.
No, I'm trying to pick a good one.
Any of them, I guess.
100,000 people they get for this.
In the state, but because there's nothing else to do or watch there.
Yeah, that's it.
Poor fuckers.
You're right.
Even those people, they've been so oppressed for so long. I don't even think they know what to do with freedom and choice and things like that. Some people just can't deal with it.
It seems like a boring existence.
Yes.
Boring. Everywhere you go, you're escorted by guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100,000 people in the back there.
Jesus. You just got to... It looks like a big video screen.
Yeah, but it's all people in giant...
It's people with different colored cards. Just flip them up and make words in that wacky writing.
Yeah, and
then there's people dancing on the field in various costumes. What a fucking strange culture.
And it's about the history of North Korea. Like, right now we're looking at just all these people in these weird costumes. But it looks like a giant TV screen in the back, and it's fucking people holding cards in seats.
Oh, there's... Are those some of the card people?
I don't know if they're the card people or if they're watching.
I think they're just watching with their approved haircuts.
You know,
you see the flip?
Yeah.
The fucking...
It's amazing. It's so odd that it's very hard to get a dialogue going with people that we really don't understand their culture. It really is. This is so odd that we don't even care if they want to kill us and we want to kill them or anything. It's so much easier to destroy people that you just don't have any clue what the fuck their life is about.
It's like a big college football game. That's all it is.
Yeah, but there's something very devious behind it.
Well, thank goodness we have ambassadors now.
Like Dennis Rodman, who went over there and actually hung out with Kim Jong-un. They watched some basketball. Apparently, Kim Jong-un is a very big fan of the basketball.
And the Bulls, for some reason.
Really?
They're fans. Him and Kim Jong-il, I guess, were fans of the Bulls.
Oh, probably because he preps them many times. A little shorty. Big basketball fan, Bulls fan. And then Dennis Rodman goes over there. I guess Vice sent him? Vice.com?
Arranged it. I don't know how they pulled it off. But
amazing.
Yeah, I can't fucking believe they got him in.
Yeah.
And obviously out, too. There's a story of some filmmakers that Kim Jong-il liked. They were Chinese or they were South Korean or whatever. For some reason, they went there and he kidnapped them. They were like a husband and wife team, and he just made them make movies in that country.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Make movies
I
for
forget.
me.
I wish I knew the story. Could you see kidnapped filmmakers for North Korea?
Wow.
I think I do.
That's fucking crazy.
But there's nothing you're going to do.
No.
Because the U.S. or any country is not going to go to war
to
get one citizen out.
You want to go to war?
Yeah, you see Obama banging down the phone doing coke off the table.
I got to get organized.
Hangs up the phone.
Him and his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was his idea of getting organized.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
I got to get organized. And he hangs up the phone.
50 Colombians coming with machine guns, and you're fucking straightening up the phone, and the picture might be crooked.
Yeah, well, I got to get organized.
What's it say about them? Is it?
This is a long piece of it because I guess he eventually wrote a memoir, which is probably really interesting.
Yeah.
Him and his wife were filmmakers.
And he kidnapped them to just have
did
them
they
make
go there
movies.
for some reason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to read
It'd be so funny if Dennis Rodman got kidnapped. Like,
oh, no one
everybody
cared.
found out because he was supposed to do Celebrity Apprentice press or
Yeah.
something.
He's just fucking owning their basketball team.
Well, that's the risk
out there. Go ahead, play. I want you to play for me now every day.
That's the risk you take when you go there. It's like chances are it's not going to happen.
Okay,
but this is a dictator.
How great would it be if we went to war to save Dennis Rodman?
It turns nuclear.
Yeah.
Like everyone had this concept of what would cause a worldwide nuclear war, and it's Dennis Rodman.
It's the worm.
The worm did it.
You want the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So his ex-wife was kidnapped from Hong Kong to North Korea.
Hong Kong? Do you know, I heard something about Hong Kong. One time, King Kong went to Hong Kong to play ping pong, apparently using his ding-dong. I heard that.
Wow. That wasn't true, though. What happened was King Kong got hung up in customs.
Oh. All right.
So then here's what I figured. If one guy bombs, I should jump right in with him.
Thanks for the company.
You're welcome. It just looks really lonely down there.
Hey.
So his ex-wife was an actress. This guy's name is Shin Sang-okay.
Okay?
Probably
yeah, he needs work on his vocals.
So she was kidnapped from Hong Kong to North Korea. Shin traveled to Hong Kong to investigate, and he was kidnapped as well. The kidnappings were on the orders of future leader Kim Jong-il, who wanted to establish a film industry for his country to sway international opinion regarding the views of the Workers'
That's how
Party
you
of
do
Korea.
it.
Yeah. So North Korean authorities denied kidnapping him, claiming that he came to the country willingly, of course.
And how are they going to prove it? You know, it's like
you're not going to give a non-state approved interview.
He was put in comfortable accommodations, but after an escape attempt, because he was there willingly.
Yeah.
He was placed in prison.
Oops.
He was brought to...
Just stayed in his gilded cage.
In 1983, he learned why he had been brought to North Korea. That was 5 years after he had been kidnapped.
They didn't tell him?
Yeah. His ex-wife was brought to the same dinner party where she first learned that her ex-husband was actually in North Korea.
Wow.
They remarried shortly afterwards, as suggested by Kim Jong-il. From 1983, Shin directed 7 films with Kim Jong-il acting as an executive producer. Yes.
Do you know how fucking frustrating his notes must have been?
Oh, man.
Well, in the love scene, it should be the leader. All right, the leader. Good point.
All right,
You're taking notes from that fucking idiot.
Fantastic leader is the main love interest in the movie again.
Yes, the star should be short and homely and have poor eyesight. I heard you.
The best known of these films was a giant monster film similar to Godzilla. In 1986, 8 years after his kidnapping, Shin and his wife escaped while in Vienna for a film festival.
He kidnapped a filmmaker that makes Godzilla type movies?
Yeah, pretty much.
But he let him go to Vienna for a film festival?
I guess. They managed to seek political asylum in the United States Embassy before they were found out. Kim Jong-il became convinced that the couple had been kidnapped by the Americans.
Oh, see?
How do you fucking let them go
Yeah.
to Vienna? Like, how delusional are you to their loyalty?
That's being
Just come
delusional.
back.
That's being delusional.
There's a story of a woman named Colleen Stan who was kidnapped by a married couple in California while she was hitchhiking. And they held her captive for 7 years. Wow. Made her a sexual slave. It's a very claustrophobic story where they would put her in a coffin-like contraption under their bed.
Oh, I heard about this.
And there was times where she had to sleep with like a fucking head box on. Like, I read it, like I was crawling out of my skin.
Yeah, the head box.
And she eventually escaped years later because they had her believe that it was this white slavery thing. But they let her. They eventually, at one point, they let her go see her family.
See her family.
And then she came back because she was so brainwashed. She believed that there was a white slavery ring and her family would be killed.
Didn't you have
if
to
they
fill
were
out that
part of it.
contract too?
A
She
slave
had
contract.
Slave contract that she had to fill out, and they threatened her family and whatnot. It's just weird.
Perfect Victim, I think the book is
How
called.
people can just buy that shit.
But she was so brainwashed, and eventually they went away one time and they left her in the fucking coffin, and it was so hot that she actually kicked through and broke out, but stayed there. And
What an idiot!
But I don't comprehend it.
Just
either.
wanted to get out of the coffin.
Yeah. They were eventually letting her stay in the bathroom, handcuffed.
Yeah.
And then one of their kids saw it, so it was right back in the coffin for a couple years.
Something called the Helsinki syndrome, I believe.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's called.
Oh.
Stockholm.
Well, Stockholm, yeah, I know. Stockholm's when you can empathize with your kidnappers.
Yeah, I was there's some line from Die Hard where the guy in the news mentions the wrong country.
I think
Stockholm, damn it. Yes, I know.
the husband got greedy and wanted more slaves, so the wife just didn't want to deal with that and fucking told the girl, like, you can, and then she escaped and whatever. But that's what happened, I guess, like they probably figured
Hijink's
that
over.
these two wouldn't go.
Wow.
How did I just ruin the whole show? I'm sorry.
No, I
it's
love
very
shit like
interesting.
that.
I'm reading about it.
Oh.
Now, of course, Dennis Rodman goes over there as a representative of the United States.
Why can't you say that with a straight face?
Because I saw the clips. He's fucking retarded.
Now, do you want to play the clips that Sam has pulled, or do you just want to watch the video?
Well, let's watch some of the video.
Okay.
I want to get like the full impact of what his dumb face looks like. Of course, he's got the piercing in the middle of his lower lip. He's got a piercing in each nostril. His tats all over, of course, and
And George Stephanopoulos is here, and he's talking to the one guy in America who's had interactions with this dictator
Had to
that
sit
everybody.
down.
And he has to sit there and ignore the fact that he's he's retarded.
Yeah.
That he's an idiot.
He's actually interviewing him as he would a politician, a diplomat.
You know how much they wish this was Abdul-Jabbar or Jordan or any
Right?
player,
Anyone.
but him.
Well, yeah, I've noticed he is a bit unstable. There are certain commonalities like basketball that we share with. That would be like what you would want to
Larry
hear.
The United
Not like,
States would be happier if it was Muggsy Bogues that went over there.
He ain't want no war.
I see. Want to play some?
Play some of this. It's great. George Stephanopoulos.
Weirdest encounter. Top of the news in North Korea.
What is that?
The first American to meet.
Louder?
Not John Kerry or
There
even
we
Jimmy
go.
Carter. Nope, it was Dennis Rodman, a.k.a. The Worm. They watch basketball. Kim is a big fan, but that was just the beginning. Some ice skating, too, an aquarium visit. Then a long dinner and lots of drinks with one of the world's most mysterious and dangerous men.
I love him. I love the guy's awesome. It was
He's
really hard.
awesome.
He was so honest.
That about a
was
dictator
honest.
who presides over prison camps, allows millions to
Honest.
starve, and has threatened
Pause
to
for a
destroy
second.
the United
This is what annoys me about like Stephanopoulos.
Yeah.
How many fucking dictators have we been friends with
Very good.
because they
Yeah.
did things that we
You're
want?
right.
Come on, stop it.
You're right.
That's why I don't like when we don't talk to these guys. We had no problem with who was the guy that fucking ran Zaire? Mobutu for all those years.
Mobutu.
You know, because these guys give you access to the fucking mineral mines. We have plenty of dog
In
shit.
the Middle East, we're fucking, in bed with people that absolutely kill women and homosexuals and China.
Yeah.
We're in bed with China, and as far as their death camps and human rights policies go. But yeah, you're right. As long as there's something in it for us, then we could do business with them.
This fucking, or we were from Musharraf in fucking Pakistan, whose own people hated.
Yeah.
But they just phonies like this Stephanopoulos take this high road. We shouldn't go talk to Kim Jong Un. What the fuck has he done to America?
Well,
Like, he might be a cunt,
Yeah.
but what has he done to us that's so terrible?
it's actually his father. The extortion thing's pretty good. How he threatens free
Sure.
countries with nuclear weapons, and then says, "Well, I'll stop if you give us a bunch of money."
Hey, it's a great move. Why shouldn't he do that? He sees us fucking handing over $250 million to Egypt or fucking money to the Syrian rebel. Why the fuck shouldn't they get the money?
Keeps a constant loaded gun pointed at South Korea, which is one of our allies.
Yeah,
of
fuck
course.
them too. They're not even grateful for us. Fuck them. Fuck the South Koreans. They want the troops out. They're sick of the
yeah.
troops.
Yeah.
I think we should be out of there. Fuck the DMZ. It's not our problem.
Yeah.
I don't care if Kim Jong Un goes in and takes it. I don't give a fuck.
I don't think he could at this point.
No, of
China's
course
not
not.
going to back North Korea anymore.
You don't think?
No, that was a big thing. Obviously, during the Korean War, the problem wasn't North Korea. We could have fucking devastated them. It was China. Just came fucking bunch of million screaming Chinese flying over the border. But now, I absolutely think China is so entrenched in capitalism at this point that they look more how it would affect their economy than how it would affect maybe a communist ally like North Korea in this
I
day
think
and
they've
age.
got like a one-track mind where
Right.
they know that their economy is going to be...
Express to fucking riches. That's what they're all about these days. They're not the old 50s communist China anymore. They are a powerhouse. It's amazing. More billionaires now in Asia than in the Americas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fucked up.
So just this attitude. He keeps death camps. He does who gives a fuck?
I like how all it takes is basketball and drinks for Dennis Rodman to just think you're an awesome guy.
You know
And
what?
aquarium.
And an aquarium.
The aquarium must have been fun.
He's awesome.
I think Dennis Rodman just walking around with a balloon of a killer whale. Like, oh, Oh, this is fun. Looking all silly.
Make him splash me.
Yeah, he splashes him. Oh, yeah. The water gets on Kim Jong-un. He has the fucking whale killed.
Yeah, but it's not even the whale doing it. It's a Korean guy in the water splashing away from the great leader.
That's the great leader.
That's what they call him, the great leader.
That's great. It is great.
Yeah,
a little more of Dennis Rodman.
Amazingly, Rodman now has more first-hand impressions of Kim than any other American.
There is nobody at the CIA who could tell you more personally about Kim Jong-un than Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I'm with
and
the
that
company.
in itself is scary.
And Dennis Rodman joins us right now. I guess you don't find it scary.
No, it's not scary. It's
money
amazing,
suit.
man. Wow, man. You know what?
He was wearing a suit.
It was such
with money printed on it.
a great experience. Me and my, I call him my son, Elkin King. We went there, man, and it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be like, just meet the guy and just have a good time.
And it turned into such an event. And I have to ask you first, when you said you love Kim and think he's awesome, were you aware of his threats to destroy the United States and his regime's horrendous record on human rights?
But one thing about that, you know what? I didn't look at all that right there. I understand what he's doing. I don't condone that.
Right.
I hate the fact that he's doing that, but the fact of it is that, you know what? As a human being, though, he let his guards down. He did one thing to me, been a friend. I didn't talk about
What country is Dennis Rodman from? Could you pause this for a moment? What country is he
Are
from?
you having a hard time understanding?
Well, I'm denoting an accent. Where is he from?
Yeah, and the United States of America.
Yeah. Oh,
South.
really?
He sounds almost Asian in that. It's like he really
he picked up the accent.
Figure out how many times he says one thing.
One thing.
That's his favorite thing.
Here's the thing.
The one thing he did, though.
The one thing he
made
did,
me
though.
his friend.
He's from the country of Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh, I didn't know he was a Jersey guy.
He doesn't sound like he's from Jersey, but all right. So
Oh no, he has a horrendous human rights record. Oh no, like the Chinese. Why do you say that to fucking every Secretary of State when they come back from China?
that is a great fucking point. It
Stupid
really is.
Stephanopoulos.
Like this, of course, is the wacky story. You got crazy Dennis Rodman going over to the first American to really sit down and talk to this guy, and he comes back with these stories about what a great guy he is. Because they just sat there and talk about world events or anything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about basketball. But the thing to do is to bash him like this and bash Kim Jong-un, who is no better or worse than a lot of these motherfuckers that get away with literally murder.
And these jealous cunts in the media, they can't believe that this lunatic got what they couldn't get, no one else couldn't get. Because again, how about how many people has Mike Wallace gone and talked to? He went and talked to the Ayatollah. So don't fucking sit
rock and
there.
roller?
Yes, it was really bizarre. I just hate the way they're all this. We know who Kim Jong-un is.
Yeah.
Stop prefacing, well, do you know that? We know.
He does threaten the United States, but he threatens everybody. He threatens Japan. He likes to think of himself and his country as a powerhouse in the world, a world leader. And that nuclear weapons thing is a big one as far as a country's power in the world. So he's trying to get that. But then when we say you can't have it, he goes, all right, well, you got to give me some of that money, and then we'll cut back on our nuclear weapons program.
He isn't going to do a fucking thing. He's just talking shit. He's like the loud kid that you have to give candy to be quiet. And again...
Candy, by the way, is billions of American dollars.
It sure is. And he gobbles it up. But, hey, look, the Russians threatened us with nuclear war for fucking 30 years.
When did
they
that
just
happen?
didn't say it.
Why wasn't I told?
From fucking 1990 on.
Oh.
According to, most films in Hollywood, that's the big threat now. It's
exactly.
nuclear secrets.
Well, that new movie about the White House being taken over... Yes, that thing.
Olympus Down.
Thank you. Whatever it is. I guess the Koreans are the villain in that one. The Koreans are the ones that take over the White House. I don't know why.
Who do you think the villain's going to be when it's released in Korea?
What they should be, which is the Arabs. The damn Arabs.
You want more?
Yeah, please. Yeah. I love it.
Do you think you have a responsibility to ask him about it so that you don't be perceived as sort of propping up his regime, his cult of personality?
Well, there is like when you grow up in an environment, especially when your grandpa and your,
Pause, I'm
and
sorry
your
to keep
father-
doing this. Again, would he be asking Angelina Jolie this if she went to to the Congo and talked to some dictator in the Congo? Goodwill ambassadors, it's not their job to go over there and fucking criticize the regime in a country where you probably could not. You could be held there if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So stop with this dumb shit.
Well, I think a lot of times the government doesn't want these goodwill ambassadors to be used as propaganda for the leaders. Of course they're going to treat Dennis Rodman well. Of course they're going to let him come back here and have these great stories about how awesome Kim Jong-un is, because it's propaganda. It helps their cause in the long run. So I could see why he's doing that, but
maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's the difference, coming back and telling everybody that guy is awesome. What a great guy. He's amazing.
Loves the b-ball. Yeah. Loves the b-ball.
But how much of him being terrible is propaganda on our side?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, how about, these guys are made to, and a lot of them are monsters, but if you come back and he actually treated you well, and so why should you just tell how it was? It's like, we won't talk to the Iranians or Ahmadinejad. We're not going to talk to him. Why not? We don't have to like him, but you got to sit down with him.
I guess when you assume that all you're going to get out of him is bullshit and propaganda and lies, that there's no real need to give them the credibility of sitting down and talking to them. I don't know. I'm just rambling.
But you're not even. If we were consistent, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
If we were 100% consistent and we didn't all of a sudden become friendly with Gaddafi,
all of a sudden he was our buddy.
Oh, he's helping us. He's helping us now. Fucking crazy. We wonder why everybody in the world's a twat and we can't make up our mind who our friends are.
Yeah.
You're terrible. All right, we'll give you this. All right, come on over.
All right, you're our pal.
Now, one thing, the kid's only 28 years old.
You called them great leaders. Do you really believe that?
No, what I saw in that country, and I saw how people respect him and his family. That's what I mean about that.
Aren't
great
they
leaders
forced
there.
to?
Huh?
Aren't they forced to?
Well, I say no, because I think he's going to change something.
I say no.
He says a different view. Because I sat with him for 2 days.
Oh,
and then
2
one
days.
thing, he asked me to give Obama something to say and do one thing.
Oh, here's the message.
He wants Obama to do one thing. Call him.
He wants a call from President Obama?
That's right. He told me that. He said, if you can, Dennis, I don't want to do war.
I don't want
to do war.
I don't want to do war.
Did you say, why don't you pick up the phone and call President Obama?
No, it's a different story.
He said, war.
Because guess what?
Good
The
God,
kid's
John.
only 20
What
years
is it good?
28. He's not his dad, not his grandpa. He's 28 years old.
So you think he's different. What did he tell you about America, and what did you learn about him?
Guess what? The one thing I said to him, I said,
One thing.
we talked about it, if you see the clips or whatever, he loves basketball.
Oh.
Now I said the same thing I said, Obama loves basketball. Let's start there. Let's start there. You see the posts in the papers, he says that. He says that about sports. Both of you guys love basketball so much.
So that's one tiny bit of common ground. Did you get any sense from
What do you
him
think
that he
of
was
a
looking to change
Kobe?
the relationship
You know
with the
what?
United
One little bit
States?
of tiny common ground. That's what motivates people to want to fucking change their countries. It's usually that pop culture shit that gets the students rioting and crazy. It comes from, if he would have said, oh, come on, Twitter. Well, who's going to use Twitter? That's what motivates people. It's all this weird social enjoyment stuff. And they're both fucking Bulls fans.
Yeah, apparently ever since he took office, he's really promoted sports. Because he's such a big fan of sports.
Yeah.
He wants a relationship with the United States. He's not his father. He's a younger guy. He's a younger maniac.
Oh, he's 28.
He's so jealous of South Korea, I bet.
Yeah.
He's probably like, North Korea, we best Korea. Why no talk to us? I bet. And now he's trying to get Dennis Rodman to go back and tell him, just call. Just give him a call. Do you see how he looked at the camera like he was talking to Obama? Hey, Obama, just call the man.
Obama got the message.
Is Kim Jong-un there?
Leaves him a message.
Yeah. Hi, it's President Obama. Yeah. Do you have 10-pound balls? How do you walk? All right. Little prank calls from the president. Prince Albert in a can. You better let him out.
Well, no, Dennis says, yes, I do. I have Prince Albert on my cock. 'Cause I'm sure he does have a piercing.
Hey, Kim, is your refrigerator running? No power here. We broke. Shit, you ruined my gag.
One thing I noticed about him, he's very humble. He's very humble, man.
Humble?
As a kid,
There's
he's very
fucking
humble.
portraits of him 20 feet high on every
strong
building.
As a man, he's very strong, but guess what? He don't want war. That's one thing he don't
He
want.
said in the past that he would destroy the United States.
Well, I just think that's coming from
So
his
did Hitler.
father.
Oh.
I think as a young man, he don't want anything.
What else does he know about the United States and President Obama, from what you could tell?
Well, I can tell about him. He does one thing. He loves power.
It's a humble guy. Loves power.
Control and power.
Of his, dad and stuff like that. But he's a great guy. He's just a great guy. If you sit down and talk to him, perception is perceiving how things
A great
work.
guy who puts 200,000 people in prison camps?
Well, and guess what? It's amazing how we do the same thing here.
Oh, we have prison camps here in the
When
United
we don't
States?
have prison camp, guess what? This is all politics, right? It's all politics, right? And the one thing, he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. But you know what, dude? It's more like it. I'm not like a diplomat. I don't want to do that.
But it sounds like you're apologizing for him.
No, I'm not apologizing for him. I think the fact that, he's a good guy to me. Guess what? He's my friend. Guess what? I don't condone what he does, but as far as a person to person,
Indy, you're my
my
best friend.
This
That's what he
fucking
does.
Stephanopoulos is a smug
You're
cunt.
not liking this, are you?
Hating his guts. He's a
he's making
smug
great points.
cunt. Who,
A
Stephanopoulos?
smug cunt.
No, but
That's what they put under his name. Look on NBC News. ABC News.
He knows the situation and the benefit of Rodman going over there. It's a door opening. It's a door opening into a country. We obviously give a fuck. Or we obviously want something, or we wouldn't be on the DMZ. We would not have fucking troops stationed there if there wasn't some concern about this guy. So here's this fucking dumb pop icon who fucking walks in. pop culture guy, I mean.
Pop icon. Oh, I'm in prison. That guy, I'm a pop icon.
And he's the only contact we have with this. And all this fucking smug douchebag is doing. And he would never ask a politician this shit. He would never ask a reporter this shit.
So what did you say? Well, obviously, though, a politician wouldn't be coming off with the answers that Dennis Rodman is either.
Right.
Yeah,
about
well, I
him
just
being
think he's awesome.
Could you see a politician sitting down and going, he was awesome. I must say, awesome. He's a good friend of mine.
And the reporter probably wouldn't assert that the United States also has prison camps.
I don't think he meant it like that. I think when he said we do the same thing here, there was something about the phoniness.
I'm sure the injustices that he perceives in our system, he probably was talking about that. And what we were talking about, obviously, he's a little too retarded to bring up the fact that we do business with plenty of dictators and countries that have imprisoned people on their political beliefs and whatnot. So
Yeah, exactly. So the one guy that gets in, who Kim Jong-un is nice to, don't come back and just go, well, did you tell him he was a bad guy? Did you question his human rights? You little fucking jizz drinker. Shut the fuck up. You jealous little bitch.
Jizz drinker.
He really makes me sick.
Hope he doesn't get that virus that Opie got.
The smugness of Stephanopoulos is making me fucking physically, because he knows this is just a basketball player that got in. So just look at it for what it is. It's a stupid little olive branch. It doesn't mean much.
But do you honestly think that if he didn't handle Rodman this way, that he wouldn't have taken a load of shit for just letting Rodman say that he's awesome and that he's a friend and, whatever about the death camps or fucking prison camps. He would have been called out on the carpet as a journalist if he didn't.
Maybe he would have been. Maybe he would have been. It just maybe what's annoying me about Stephanopoulos is it's a mirror to how fucking selective the outrage is over the behavior of other world leaders.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Rodman's too stupid to turn it back around and call him out on the fact that you never address diplomats in these horrid countries with horrid leaders about what they're doing with these people.
Yeah, but he probably thinks they're all awesome too.
They might be awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah. You know what? Most of these leaders are charismatic people. When you meet them,
exactly. That's another thing. You're right.
They have an ability to fucking capture, and you realize you're talking to the leader of a country. So all of them are. I'm sure if you meet Ahmadinejad or fucking. If you met Saddam Hussein, all of them are probably very, very captivating men and seem awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. Rodman through history. Hitler was awesome. Me and Hitler sat down. We watched a basketball game. He's my friend. What about the killing of 6 million Jews? Hey, shit happens.
One thing.
You know something? President Roosevelt called him. Call Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, we fucking all right, whatever. I was going to make the same point again, so I caught myself. My apologies to the audience.
But deal with it. Someone who hypothetically is a murderer, who's your friend, is still a murderer.
Well, you know what, dude? Seriously, I think guess what? guess what? What I did was history.
Oh.
Was history, and guess what? It's just like we do over here in America, right? It's amazing that we have presidents over here do the same thing, right? It's amazing that Bill Clinton could do one thing, have sex with his secretary and do one thing, really get away with it and still be powerful.
That.
And
How
that's
can you
amazing.
compare that to prison camps?
No, prison camp do one thing. We don't need to do one thing. Object that. We don't need to do it. Object that. Guess what?
What?
We're doing one thing.
One thing.
Like a friend to friend, right? It's a friend to friend. He's a friend to me. That's about it.
So you're going to go back?
Say
Yes,
friend
I
to
am.
me?
I'm going to go back, do one thing, and find out more what's really going on. Find out more.
Okay, next time you go back, you should bring this report from the Human Rights Watch with you and maybe ask some questions about that.
That might make an uncomfortable basketball game.
Thank you for
that
coming
would make an uncomfortable second
I
half.
hate this fucking cocksucker.
Yo, Kim Jong Un. Yeah, and there's the half. The half is done. We'll be right back. Yo, Kim Jong Un, what's this? And they're just kind of sitting like, not
thing.
looking at each other.
What the fuck? Every time we look at the relationship we have with Saudi Arabia, you fucking cocksucker.
Exactly.
They fucking chop hands off in the middle of the town. Women are put in jail if they're raped. They have rocks thrown at them.
Yes.
Shut the fuck
Because
up.
they caused it.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Shut the fuck up. Like, how much shit does Saudi Arabia own in this country? They probably own things that he's involved with. You go into the fucking CEO of, whatever, of these companies and you go,
Yeah.
do you know who bought us?
Yeah.
That's what's bothering me so much.
It is
this
a hypocrisy.
Phony this fucking fraudulent high road.
My favorite part is Rodman saying he's going to go back and find out what's really going on.
I'm going to go back and find out what's really going on. I broke the ice with the man. We watched some basketball. Now I'm going to find out about the camps. And
now he feels comfortable, touching on that subject because he's already broken the ice.
Well, I'm going to find out about the camps. I'm going to find out about nuclear armaments.
He said no.
He said no. He don't want war. And we're going to watch a rom-com together.
One thing.
One thing, kid, one thing.
How does Kim Jong-un perceive him? like he must have been like, what the retard? That man is a stupid man.
You know who the dummy is? Us for giving money to that country. We're fucking dumb motherfuckers for giving them money.
We fork it over so he stops his shenanigans.
Again, what? We're bribing him to not get nukes?
Yeah.
Fuck us.
Exactly what we were
us.
doing. You're right.
Just fucking nudges.
Yeah.
Mind you, if he fires one off, or if it looks like he's going to fire one off, you level the shitty country.
They've been testing missiles out and missiles that could probably...
they're not going to hit California. They're not hitting us.
What if they do get technology that could reach the west coast of the United States?
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
They don't want to do war.
They're not going to, but they're not going to. The Russians didn't do it. The Chinese didn't do it.
They had a lot more to lose than North Korea does.
Nobody wants their population wiped out.
Well, that's true.
And China doesn't want him firing a nuke at us.
That's true.
Nobody wants him firing a nuke at us.
Well, that's why when you had a completely insane leader like his father, there's no reasoning with him. But this guy, it does seem like there's a little more like wiggle room.
But there was reasoning with him because he didn't do it. There was reasoning
Well, he
with
didn't
him.
have the capability yet.
But like all these guys, a lot of times they're just saying what they know they need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler was a doer. You know what I mean? He was. He just did shit.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Stalin, these guys just did things.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking bark, and then as soon as someone else said something, they back up. That's how you know the difference between a true sociopath maniac and
right.
a guy just talking shit.
Point well taken.
We should be like Michael Madsen. You're gonna bark, little doggy, or you're gonna bite.
And bark all day, little dog. Yeah. Well, that's a interesting take on that. Haven't seen any of the news talk shows in the morning addressing it quite like that, Jimmy. You throw a nice twist on these things.
Just driving me fucking... not even the questions he's asking.
Yeah.
It's the smugness.
It is
Thinking
smug.
he's just talking to this fucking lower life form. Like, Stephanopoulos makes me physically
Maybe you
ill.
can bring this report to him next time.
Yeah, it's just like that fucking cunt boy attitude. Whereas if it was Barbara Walters that went over and she just had a friendly meeting with him just to break the ice, this jerk-off might mention this stuff, but he would never talk to her in that condescending manner.
Well, what about when Jane Fonda came back from North Vietnam and said pretty much the same thing, that their people are wonderful people, the leaders are awesome. I don't think she used that word, but she sat down on an anti-aircraft
Absolutely.
emplacement.
Disgusting.
But since we're not at war, does it make it any any better that you're pretty much just spreading propaganda about what a great guy this?
Much better.
Yeah.
Because aren't we still technically at war with North Korea?
Well, it's kind of a, yeah. There was
the
never,
armistice or whatever?
It was kind of a treaty, but not a. There wasn't a complete secession of aggression or
and
violence.
Jane Fonda was denying that our soldiers were being tortured. We had guys over there being tortured, and she was giving propaganda that was contradicting what our tortured soldiers were saying. There was a big difference between actively being in a war, where guys from Long Island are being shipped over and fucking killed in a jungle,
right,
to what's happening here. It's a huge difference.
All right.
I think, I think she should have been shot for what she did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think that was like treasonous? Believe me, many people thought so, and a lot of people these days still fucking can't stand her because of it. Yeah, she did look good, though, on the... Oh, did she look good?
Yeah, I'd fuck her. And I got a picture and I got it signed.
You did.
Hi, Jane. Love you on a golden pond. Fucking worm I am.
Annoyed Jane. What's the story with Bill Cosby? What's he doing up there on CNN?
Civil rights.
Civil rights?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that, what was that, a march? Down there? Selma? What was that?
That was a long time ago.
Oh, right, that thing. No, they had an anniversary of Bloody Sunday, they called it. The marches down there in Alabama.
Hey, Matt on Twitter.
50 year.
Forgive me for addressing one dummy on Twitter.
That's okay, I love dummies.
Fuck us, you voted for Obama. I didn't vote for Obama.
What?
Matt.
What?
I'll accept your apology in a moment. I did not vote for Barack Obama or anybody. I did not vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you didn't. That's
No,
right.
I didn't.
Well, you didn't vote against him either, though, Jimmy.
That's true.
No, I didn't.
Just didn't vote.
Exactly. That implies everything that not voting implies. I happen to like Obama. I really, yeah, man. And I hate his tax policies. I hate them as much as you do. I hate the death tax, but I don't know why. There's something about him I really, really like.
I don't know. I think a lot of people are kind of seeing more that he's just a perpetual campaigner at this point, and he's not really doing good for the country. We were still in a fucking economic downturn, and people are saying the only way to get back from it is through like consumer spending, but no one's got money to spend. And then after the payroll tax went up for everybody, and they're seeing less money in their check, they're pretty much just buying what they need and not buying any of those like items that get the economy going. All the little Wii's, the little Wii U's, and fucking.
I'm helping the country.
You are.
That's what you should say. I can picture E-Rock saying that as he's in the basement with a rope around a stool.
I'm helping.